QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy Rashad. I am one half of the Panther Nation podcast. Don't fret, you guys. Dave will be here shortly in around 30 minutes. But until then, I will take the reins and get us through this tumultuous pod. It's going to be, a continuation of the post game pod that we have. First off, I want to give a shout out to Bleacher Report. Hopefully, we will be doing future post-game reports with them. Shout out to them as they understood the circumstances that I was dealing with and allowed us some grace. Shout out to the grace, that word grace. There it goes already. Trust me, you won't hear it too many times during this pod. But showed us some grace with allowing Dave to go solo that one pod. So again, shout out to Bleacher Report. We will be doing hopefully more streams with them in the future. Okay. Now, shout out to a great weekend. It was a great weekend for me personally outside of the game. I was in Disney World. I attended Disney World with my family, my wife, my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law. It was great. My niece's birthday. Her birthday already happened, but she turned 3, so we went down to Disney World and it was a blast. Went to Epcot. Drinking around the world. If you know, you should try that one day if you've never done it. Went to Hollywood Studios, got on the greatest ride of all time in the Rise of the Resistance. Loved it, man. Great time at Disney, man. Great time at Disney. So yeah, man, that was my weekend. It was good times. Had to get up early, super early, 5:00 in the morning to drive all the way back up to Charlotte to get to the game. Made it to the game by the second quarter, but I did watch or / listen to most of the game on the first quarter on the way up. So had a wonderful time. Great time. Made it to the game. Everything was great. So shout out to everybody that attended both post-game shows. We had a post-game show on Bleacher Report, and we had a post-game show where I was able to, pod a little bit. So shout out to everybody continuing to rock with your boys, man. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you haven't already done so, man, hit the like button on the way in. It's 200 some people already. Go ahead and hit that like button. As they come in, shout out to all the mods in the building. It's a lot of mods. Appreciate y'all support holding me down. Couldn't do it without y'all. So I appreciate y'all. Now, with that said, man, again, Dave will be here in about 20-something minutes. So hang tight. I'm going to proceed with the show until he gets here and let him speak his piece once he gets here. All right. Shout out to Seeker, man. So Seeker said, all my kids' marching band took home first place in all categories and grand champion over the day, man. Shout out to Seeker, man. Love a good band. I played band. I was in the band in high school. Shout out to the band. I was a percussionist. I was in the drum lines. Shout out to Seeker and the bands. Love a good marching band. Shout out to A&T and their band as well. All right. Bro. Drove all the way from Florida to North Carolina. It wasn't 6 hours. I got there. It was a little about 8. We made a couple of stops. It was just over 8 hours where I got there. Like I said, I didn't make it to the game at 1:00. I got there around 2. So we was pushing it though. We was pushing it. I was, abiding by the 10 miles per hour over rule. I made it happen. Got here safe. Never put the family in danger. I am the driver. I don't like riding passenger seat anywhere. When I drive, when I'm going long distance on a road trip, I gotta drive. All right. So let's get it cracking, man. Let's get this thing going. Again, a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss, a lot of hot topics out there that we must, break down. So we will do that. Let's get it. So again, y'all gotta remain. I know it's tough. I know it's tough right now. I know it's tough, but we gotta stay on the prowl. Pursue your dreams, radiate positivity, overcome an obstacle, work hard, and love what you do. You gotta stay on the prowl. Okay. You got to stay on the prowl. We got to do it. We 0-4 right now, but we gotta be positive, bro. It's hard, bro. It's hard sometimes, man. It is hard sometimes, but it is what it is. Shout out to Nivrash. Miles Sanders' nickname is the Swindler because he absolutely hoodwinked Fitterer into giving him that contract. 1.5 yards per carry versus the Vikings at 2.9 yards per carry on the season. This dude is a thief. Yeah. I mean, I completely understand the disappointment in Miles Sanders. I completely get it. That said, he has been questionable in each game. he's not healthy. And I would say my argument to that is that if you are not healthy, you should not be playing. Chuba Hubbard is averaging just over, I believe. I think it's like three, almost 4 yards a carry. Don't quote me on the stat, but Chuba's doing a better job running the football than Miles Sanders is, and we paid Miles Sanders, I believe, the highest paid running back contract that was outside of a franchise tag. You know what I mean? So he got a nice deal, I think it's $7 million a year, something like that. So I mean, yeah, I get it. I get the frustration, bro. Listen, as one that caped for Fitterer, yeah, I got nothing. I've got nothing. I caped for him. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Blame Rule for everything, but I got nothing, bro. I've got nothing. What's happening right now? The uh, the the hodgepodge of coaching and players that we have, it just has not come together so far. And again, it's 4 games. If I'm gonna practice being on the prowl, I must speak to that. It's only 4 games, but I completely understand the frustrations, bro. I ain't a little bit of grace, a little bit, just a little bit, but because I understand, I'm with y'all, bro. I am completely with y'all with the frustrations, man. I said on the post game pod, and I was not potting during that. I was when I get up here and I get on this mic, I have to make it entertaining, and I have to the dynamic between me and Dave is I try to push back and provide an opposing opinion. Sometimes I agree with Dave. Sometimes because I'm frustrated. I get it, bro. I hate being 0-4 right now. I'm a biggest fan. And listen, people have talked about, oh, because I got up here and I complained about some things. They want to talk about my credibility, And truth be told, I could give a gosh darn about credibility because I'm a fan first, and I'm a fan, and I'm a fan with the mic. And if I feel like I have an opinion and I'm frustrated, I'm gonna express that, and I don't care about credibility. I don't do this for credit. I don't do this for a job. I don't have credentials. I don't want credentials. This is why I have an opinion, okay? And if I have an opinion about something, then I'm gonna state it, okay? But I try to provide an opposing opinion for entertainment value. I'm frustrated just as much as you guys are, okay? I'm frustrated. It is extremely frustrating for this coaching staff, for us to have an all-star coaching staff and this coaching staff not work out. We were sold a bill of goods. We were hoodwinked. Okay, all we were told, this is not a rebuild. This is not a rebuild. This is not a rebuild. And here we are trying to rebuild essentially. And I understand the context behind that. I understand that this guy Frank Reich is working with a group of guys that he may or may not have chosen. He may not have won some of these guys. A good portion of the roster that still exists from the previous coaching staff. We turn it over a lot, but there's still some pieces that we don't quite have together. Okay, so I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm a fan first, and I want to say that. Okay, so Dave will be here again. Just to say a day, everybody relax. Dave will be here in about 20 minutes, about 15, 20 minutes. Just relax. We'll get through some of the topics, and we will go in. March on Mint. I believe. Here's the deal. And if you're new to the pod, you don't know what March on Mint is. March on Mint is something that I derived when we were doing really bad, or with under Matt Rule. We were peed off. We were upset as a fan base, and I said, hey, if things don't get better, we're gonna march on Mint. Okay, we're gonna pick it, and we're gonna go. We're gonna get together as a fan base one day, and I'm gonna organize a march on Mint to show David Tepper and the organization that we're not happy. Okay, we're gonna get all the media outlets to cover it, and we're gonna make some noise to understand it. Yo, it's not a game, bro. The stretch that we've gone over since the lackluster football that we've seen over the stretch of years since David Tepper's owned the team is unacceptable. And so for us, we wanted to march on Mint, okay? And I didn't do it. I didn't do it at the time, but now I believe it's time to fire it back up. I firmly believe that. I get the context, bro. I 100% understand it, but it is frustrating. It is frustrating if we go 0-6 into the bye week. We as Panther Nation would need to sit down and discuss whether we want to do a march on Mint or not. And I will do it. If the people want it, hashtag March on Mint on X, on Twitter, whatever we're doing, whatever you want to call it, we'll get it cracking. I'm down with it. I'll do it for the people. Okay, so definitely March on Mint. Listen, I did see the clip from Smitty. And I respect him. He has y'all know Smitty's my favorite player of all time. We're blessed with the opportunity to sit down with him. Hopefully we'll get another opportunity here soon. But I'm always going to speak from the fan standpoint. That's the only standpoint I have is a fan standpoint. And I respect his opinion. And I completely understand his side of it that, bro, he's a player. Sometimes we don't understand the nuances and things that go on behind the scenes. I get what he says. But as a fan, we are frustrated. We are frustrated. And we've been dealing with a lot. He's sitting down. Smitty is sitting down with Tepper. He has conversations with Tepper. So he understands the inner workings and things that are going on behind the scenes. We don't. We don't see that. So we just want to see W. We don't care what goes on behind the scenes. We just want W's. And we're not asking. And I see this on Twitter. I see this going on Twitter all the time. We not asking, bro. We're not asking for a playoff caliber team right now. All we want to see is progression week to week. And yeah, we see it from individuals. I think some of the Bryce criticism is unfair. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I think some of the Bryce criticism that we're seeing right now are a little bit unfair. Because we only reason why we're criticizing Bryce so hard is because of what CJ Stroud is doing. And it's unfair to Bryce to be compared because it's two different situations. Okay. It's two different situations, two different coaching staffs, it's different coaching styles. It's all different. Okay. So we got to be careful when we compare a situation. It's not apples to apples. They were drafted the same year. That's about where the comparison stopped. Okay. So I get it. We just want to see progression. And we're not seeing progression. We want to see W's, bro. We want to see W's at the end of the day. It's got to translate to some W's. I don't care what goes on behind the scenes. It's got to translate to W's. You know what I mean? We got to see W's from a fan standpoint. You know what I mean? We sick of seeing mid, and that's what below mid. I saw that. Shout out to 704 Shop. They released a shirt design that said "Make Carolina a mediocre again." And I said, "Yo, release it because I'll buy it." I would, bro. I would take the 8-8 season over what we're seeing right now. And again, it's early. I completely understand that. You don't have to tell me that. I understand it is early, but it is mightily frustrating to start the way we start off to the season because these games are absolutely winnable, and that's the frustrating part. These are winnable games. You're talking about one or two plays that if they go our way, the game completely changes. Yeah, I mean, so we're so close from getting W's, and that's what's the frustrating part about it. That's the frustrating part about it. Okay. Shout out to Roger McClain says our O-line is soft as peanut butter. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Hold your thought on that. My Mr. Jada6 says when we start the mock drafts, man, probably I'm gonna be honest, probably after the bye. But what are we mocking? We gonna mock what second round mocks? We're gonna do first 2 round mocks to see how it goes. Because we ain't got no first round pick. That's what makes the mocks fun. But yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get into it. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. So, just a couple injury updates. Austin Corbett is eligible to return from the PUP. Okay, the first 4 games are done. He's going to be eligible to return. Frank Reich said he may be returning to practice. There was a tweet that went out by Austin Corbett that says he was like some question marks. I forgot what the tweet said, but it gave indication that he could potentially be coming back. Boy, do we need Austin Corbett back. We need him back. We need Austin Corbett back. And unfortunately, I don't know that Austin Corbett is going to be his former self. Is he going to be able to perform up to his former self? I don't know that. Because coming off an ACL tear, offensive lineman, that's a tough ask. Is he going to be the same guy? Okay, because he was a very formidable right guard. And I don't know if he's going to return back to that previous level of play that he had before. So I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Oh, yeah, he said, guess what? Thank you, Carlo. Appreciate that. My man Carlo got my back. He said, guess what? It said, guess what? And it had question marks. So could it be that he could be returning to practice this week? Just because he returns to practice doesn't mean he's going to play in the game. Okay, so we got to keep an eye on that. We have to keep an eye on that. We need him back mightily. I question whether he's going to play up to his former self, but I think any shell of his former self is an improvement what we have, period. Okay, Marquise Haynes Sr. also eligible to return. I don't know. Frank Reich didn't really give any indication of whether he would be coming back, so it's a lot of question marks. We'll find out tomorrow answers to some of these questions on whether guys are going to practice or not. Outside of that, we're starting to turn the corner on these injuries. Not too many injuries were reported After the game, it seems like we got the game pretty scot free. So we'll see. We'll see. We had a lot of injuries the first couple weeks, first 3-4 weeks. A lot of injuries, man. Hopefully we're done with that. But getting these guys back will be a major help. Marquise Haynes will add to that pass rush rotation, and Austin Corbett will obviously bolster the offensive line. So can't wait to get these two gentlemen back because we most certainly need them. Most certainly need them. All right. So here's one of the topics, and I kind of want to hold off to this one. I kind of want to hold off on this one till Dave gets back. So hopefully we'll talk Dave into it, and I'll kind of hear what you guys have to say about this as well, and see what Dave thinks about it as well. But all right. So Ian Rappaport says, despite an 0-3 start, the Panthers are looking to build, not rebuild. Ooh, how many times we've heard that? That's the problem right there. That's part of the problem with some of the narrative that's being posted by, and it's been spewed by our leadership. That sets up some of these expectations that we have. When you say the Panthers looking to build, not rebuild, that build comes with wins. When you're not, right now, we look like we're in a rebuild. And we've been presented, this is not a rebuild. This is a retool. We've been presented that year after year after year after year after year. And until they do that, until they actually admit that, that's part of the problem, because you're setting up some of these expectations that are a bit too high. You know what I mean? So I definitely think it's a rebuild. It's walking like a duck, it's quacking like a duck. It's a rebuild. That's what it is. Okay. But sources say that they've been in the market for a wide receiver amongst other positions, and safety was another position that was out there in regards to what's trading for. Okay. I'm just saying, listen, A Cash, shout out to my man A Cash for the super chat. He says, "Shad, get Claypool off the slide. Don't scare us. The Bears already robbed us. We don't want him." So here's the deal. So what I'm being told from the Bears, or what I'm hearing from the Bears, is that they're going to release Claypool. So we might not need to trade for him if Claypool is available. Now, let me finish my thought before y'all jump down my throat. Pause. I don't think Claypool is the type of guy we need. We don't need a guy like Claypool. We have to aim higher than Claypool, and that's part of the problem. The type of guy you're going to get at this point in the season is not the guy we want, or we need, excuse me. We need a real wide receiver one. We need a legit wide receiver one that's not on the roster. And if y'all go back and listen to my preview, go back and listen to the season preview. I don't know what episode I said it. I wish I had a great memory like that, but I don't. I said that if Adam Thielen is our number one wide receiver going into the season, and he's going to lead us in receiving, we have a big problem. And that's exactly what's happening right now. That is exactly what's happening right now. That is exactly what's happening. Adam Thielen is the tried and true, and I love him. I love Adam Thielen. I love what he's doing right now. He's on pace for like 1,200 yards for the season. Fantastic. But this guy being our number one wide receiver, this guy being our number one wide receiver is not it. It's not it right now. Okay. Sorry, my bad. I just got a text from Dave. He says looking like 9 to 9:30. So he may not show up at all. So Dave got a lot going on right now. So y'all just bear with Dave. He may or may not show up. So I will hold down the fort. And I may invite somebody in. I may invite somebody in. Hold on. Let me shoot a quick text real quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. But yeah, man, just hang tight. Yeah, we'll see if we can get Dave in here. Let me see. Pat ain't coming. Nah, that's I wasn't gonna invite Pat, man. Shout out to Pat Coltrane. That's my guy, man. I see he out of retirement a lot more since the Panthers are trash. Hold on 1 second. We'll hang tight there. All right, here we go. Deontay says, I said before the season started, give me Devonta Adams and Tyler Boyd. I seen Adams be the man with different coaches / teams, and Boyd is nice in the slot. Yeah. So, hey Carlo, check your DMs on Twitter. But yeah, man, listen, if we're gonna trade for a guy like Devonta Adams, I'm all for it. I'm all for that. That's the type of level we need to be shooting for. It's not right now. It's not gonna. He's frustrated with his situation with the Raiders, so he's frustrated. There's a couple of guys that are out there that are like, all right, they're a little bit frustrated. You know what I mean? So, um, Claypool. If we go out and get a Claypool, that ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. Do I think Devontae wants to be here? Absolutely not. That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. Stephon Diggs. And see, here's the problem. Here's the problem. With what assets are we trading? Like, what are we trading to get said player? Hypothetically. We can't trade our way out of all these. We've traded enough. T. Higgins, it makes no sense to trade because you're gonna have to pay him anyway. T. Higgins, I'm okay with T. Higgins. I'm okay with T. Higgins. But trading for him right now, knowing he's going to become a free agent, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I can kind of see, us maybe potentially trading Brian Burns to get something. But I mean, listen, we're gonna gut our team. It just doesn't make right now, to me, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense for us to trade for a wide receiver. I could see us unless unless it's some highway robbery where we're able to get a guy for a couple of thirds or something like that. Then cool, I'm cool for it. I'm cool. I'm cool with that. Let's go for it. If you can do it, you can get away with highway robbery. We're getting somebody cool, but I highly doubt that that's gonna happen. I highly doubt that's gonna happen. We look desperate. We have no we don't have any kind of there's just nothing for it. We have nothing. There's every team knows we're desperate. They're gonna ask for the bag from us. We're gonna give it up. We have no leverage. It just makes no sense. It makes more sense just to wait to the end of the season. You dug your own hole. Now you got to live in it. And this is where you go back to the criticisms with Scott Fitterer. It makes complete sense to criticize him. I'm sorry, it does. It does. So my man says, in my lane K says, talks are that we may be trading Burns for a first rounder and T. Higgins. At least that's what I heard today. I don't think that's gonna happen. But I don't see it. I can tell you Burns right now looks mightily frustrated to be a Carolina Panther. I can tell you that. He looks mighty frustrated. Shout out to my man Hector. My man. I'm Diamond says, yo, shot. It's Hector. Oh, shout out to Hector. He says, but for me, it's way too late to trade at this point unless we manage to pull off some nonsense. But I owe y'all this, man. Appreciate you, Hector, man. Appreciate that a lot. I appreciate you, bro. But yeah, man. It sucks. It sucks, man. Real quick, let me present. Hold on. Yeah, man. Carlo, I just sent you the link. But yeah, man, I don't know. It just doesn't, to me right now, trading for a wide receiver, given the assets that we have, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Burns in the 7th rounder for either Stephon Diggs or Jamar Chase. That's not happening, bro. Jerry Jeudy, I know he's frustrated with his situation. Maybe you can get a Jeudy, but I still don't think Jeudy is enough. I don't think Jeudy's enough, bro. We need a legit, real. I think Judy's a great complimentary piece, but I don't think he's that dude. We need that dude, bro. We need that dude. We definitely need that dude. We just don't have that dude. And unfortunate, Mike Evans, again, he's another guy who is not going to be extended by the Tampa Bay Bucks. They're walking away from him next year. It makes no sense to trade for a guy and then have to end up knowing he's going to be a free agent next year. You're giving up assets for nothing, essentially. You know he's going to be let go. Why would you then trade for him if you know he's going to be let go at the end of the year? Why? I see why, but it just doesn't make sense. We could have had D-Hop. Absolutely. I was pounding the table for D-Hop. Y'all said, nah, y'all don't want D-Hop. We could have had D-Hop. Y'all said no. Y'all said no when we had a chance to get D-Hop. Shout out to my man Carlo in the building, man. Appreciate you, bro.
You already know, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you. All right, so let me get your opinion on this trade for a wide receiver, man.
What you want to know, man? I think first off, Claypool, he doesn't need to be anywhere near the Panthers, the Bank of America Stadium, bro. And I don't want any trade with Claypool unless it's a release. It's just I don't like his character. I don't think he's what we need. I think the only people that I'm looking to trade for is Devontae Adams, bro.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams is the person I'm looking at. I know they're going to want somebody like a Burns. And if I'm not for trading Burns, but if we had to trade Burns, it's only Devontae, bro. And I know people are looking at Jerry Jeudy, but Jerry Judy's not a proven wide receiver one for me.
Yeah, he's not it. To me, he's not it either. He's a complimentary piece, but not a number one.
Right.
I think he'd be a great number two. But just one, I can't see it, bro. I can't see it. But yeah, Devontae Adams, I don't see it happening, bro. I don't see it.
I don't either, bro. I don't like. He already came out and said he was frustrated with the losing season, and for him to come to an 0-14, I don't see it, bro. And plus, let's not talk about that contract either. That contract is stupid, and we got to pay a lot of people next year too. So I don't know if it just makes sense for us from a financial standpoint either. So I don't know who they're looking at, to be honest with you, man. I just feel like this is, Frank was talking about urgent, not desperate, but this is screaming desperate.
It is. It is definitely
screaming desperate, bro.
Definitely screaming desperate for sure, man. I don't know how I feel about it. Again, if you're gonna swing, bro, you gotta pause. You gotta swing for the fences, man. Like don't bring in some mid receiver saying, "Oh, the problem solved," because the expectations are high, bro. We already and listen, and for everybody saying that, because again, I said it too, and I was podding, but for those that are saying, the expectation should be this high. Mm-hmm. Look at what we're doing.
Yeah.
Look at what we're doing, bro. They understand that if the season ended today and the Chicago Bears had the number 2 overall pick, bro, this is a fail. Scott Fitterer, if this happens, Scott Fitterer should be fired, bro.
It's over with.
And then you're gonna get in a scenario where you're gonna bring the GM, you're gonna bring a new GM in, right? Yep. Is that GM gonna get with Reich's program? And the cycle is going to continue and continue and continue. If you're going to clean house, clean it all the way. And that's kind of how we got to this position where we are right now, because we did not clean it up all the way.
Absolutely.
So I'm playing 7 steps ahead.
Yeah.
But
here's my question for you though. Do you think, and me and my brother were talking about this earlier, do you think that Scott Fitterer really looked at this roster when he did all, he knew we were going for Bryce, we got all that, we signed Adam Thielen, we signed DJ Chark, and looked at it and said, you know what? This is a good roster.
He did. He said that.
Is it because of did he think that TMJ was going to make that jump? We all knew that TMJ wasn't going to.
Bro, no. If they knew TMJ was going to make the jump, they wouldn't have drafted Mingo.
Mm.
So they knew that we had some questions, bro.
Yeah,
they knew. But I think Scott did look at the roster overall and say, "Yo, we got something deep." And I believe, if you go back and look at I saw the interview earlier. I was happening to scroll and somebody posted it. And he was like, "Yeah, if you look at the NFC South, you look at where we are. This is winnable. We can do this. We can win the division. That's the goal, to win a division."
Yeah.
So when you say that, and you firmly believe in what you put down,
now
and we are where we are, it's kind of.
I got some thoughts about that too, though, bro, because I was shout out to Rob Brown. I saw his video, and he was saying around the lines of like, that's what a coach and a GM is supposed to say, right? You're trying to keep your job. you want to say like, hey, like we're competing. But if you look at the roster now, granted, this is hindsight 2020, right? Because I think everyone was looking like, okay, like this roster looks okay. We can make something shake. We knew that the NFC South was open. Like we knew Atlanta didn't look too good. Saints, we saw Derek Carr, we're like, eh. So like we knew something was there, but I mean, anybody's gonna say we're going for that. We're gonna fight for it. We're going for the NFC South,
Yeah.
but did we really think that was going to happen? Is the question.
Listen, I knew it was going to be a mid-season. I'm hoping it still ends up being a mid-season. When I say mid, 9-8, something like that, 8-9. Like that's what I always expected along the way. Anything less than that is going to be a slight disappointment. And I understand that we're dealing with the new coaching staff, and you got Bryce, and and we'll talk about Bryce a little bit later. But all we want to see at this point is some progression.
Yeah.
Like we've got to get better, bro. We've got to get better. And right now, we just not seeing that. Defensively, we've been playing well enough. Offensively, for us to have an offensive minded coach, it just ain't lining up. It ain't lining up.
Rank. Now that we're talking about this trading wide receiver review, let's step into the office of Rashad Fitterer. Step into the office of Rashad Fitterer. How are you ranking these receivers that out here? Like, who would you go for, and what would you trade?
I mean, that's the tough question, is because on paper, yes, I would love to have a Devonta Adams. Right. I mean, that sounds amazing, right? The problem is that what do you got to give up to get him? And I don't know that it's a first or a couple. I don't know if it's that high, to be honest with you, because you got to look at his contract. I haven't like analyzed his contract and see how much we're taking. I can look it up real quick.
I'll do the same talking.
But when you look at that, what is it going to take to get him? And given our current situation, and what he's going to get, is the reward worth the risk?
Right.
And I think it is, because he's a proven product. He's 30 years old, so it's not like he's over the hill by. He's not, crazy. He's still got a lot of juice in him. Pause.
Right. Yeah, people say he's in his prime at this point in time, but
yeah, he's in his prime. So, I mean, you look at, if we trade for him this season, we would owe him $6 million in base salary, and then we would assume the 2024 base salary, which is $16.8 million. That's not bad. And then you get in 2025, 2026 is $35 million both seasons. So taking that contract, bro, that's an easy pill to swallow.
Yeah,
getting him. Pause. But what kind of draft capital? What are the Bears looking to get? And I just don't know if you're talking about a second or a third or a couple of thirds, maybe 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I think I would give that up to get him. But I don't know what they're looking for, man. I honestly don't know what they're looking for, and I just think that it may be too much
for Burns, bro. I mean, with Chandler Jones being released.
So if it's a straight up trade. If it's a straight up trade, would I do that?
Straight up, though. It won't be straight up, like straight up Burns for Adams. I don't think so.
I don't know, man. I can't see giving up Burns and picks to get up Devonta Adams. I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't do it. Period. I don't want Burns to go anyway. But like, I'm pro Burns as a Panther, man. Like we don't decline 2 firsts last year to then say, we changed our mind. We need a receiver now. So go. You know what I mean?
That's another component to it. You know what I mean? That's another component to it, where you had an opportunity to get picks for this man, and you didn't do it, and now we looking dumb in the face. I mean? So a lot of criticism around for Scott, man. As a guy that has been on this side, defending him while Rule was here, it's unfortunate. But to go back to your question, Devonta Adams got to be top tier. We know he's frustrated with situation, and he's got to be top on that list. Judy, I mean, he's kind of down the road. I don't know any other like true wide receiver ones looking to get out of their current situations that are not going to be free agents next year. Like T. Higgins, we know it makes no sense to trade for a guy going to be free agent. That's him, and that's Mike Evans.
Right.
So that just doesn't make sense.
Right.
I like those guys.
But it just
doesn't make sense to trade for them. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So I don't know of any other guys looking to get out their deals outside of Adams and Judy.
Yeah, me either. I couldn't tell you, bro. Like Adams is definitely my first, and I agree with the T Higgins piece. I think the biggest thing, too is sometimes you have to think through playing chess, not checkers, be 2 steps ahead of the crew out there. Like, do we think that we are competitive enough to be able to go grab a T Higgins, go grab a Brandon Ayuk in the
They
free?
think so, bro. They obviously think so.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they obviously think so. They obviously think that, hey, we have enough people here. We have enough on the roster to entice a great receiver to come with us during the offseason. If not, then we would trade for a T Higgins or a Brandon Ayuk like other teams do, and then hope that we can have a good season, have a great atmosphere in the locker room for you to stay.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me hit some of these super chats real quick. Mango, shout out to Mama got Preston. Says PNP special. Shout out to Carlo, man. Appreciate Preston. It's my guy. We owe Raleigh a PNP live. Got to come through. Shout out to Nivrash, man. Tepper should make Fit and Reich live with their poor decisions. If they don't perform, fire them both at the same time. Don't let them dig the franchise to a bottomless pit. Excuse me. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. You can't. They got to go to. Whenever Tepper makes the decision to fire whoever he's gonna fire everybody. You got to start with a clean slate, bro. No holdovers. Start clean. You got to start clean because that will fix a lot of the issues that we're seeing right now.
Right.
Z Spoon says Fitterer likes to recycle broken players. Plus, we have Derek Wright. Activate him. That ain't the answer, but he's been waiting and looked great the preseason. Chuba at running back, Miles wide receiver. I don't. Yeah, bro. You're. There's a lot of. There's a lot of things that sound nice on paper, but in reality, you playing Madden right now. That's not real, bro. Like those guys are not the answers. They're not the answers at all. The game got Aggie Pride, man. Appreciate that Aggie Pride all day. He says we need to be sellers, not buyers. Burns for picks. I've have sat in this seat and said that many a times. Well, we need to become sellers. I said it with Christian McCaffrey. The only difference, I believe, is the position value. I believe edge rushers too valuable to let go. But hey, if you think you can find another Burns,
it's hard, man. Yeah,
it is hard.
Yeah.
Joseph Meir, man, I appreciate you putting this pronunciation up here for me, man. I appreciate that. It says Frank knew the expectation was high because his introductory press conference, he said, create this consistency of excellence that at the top end is championships, at the bottom end we're a playoff team. He did say that. I mean, but I expected him to say that. I mean, that's what my thing. Yeah, my thing is the words from everybody else. Like it's not just him, because what you said about Rob is right. What are they supposed to say? They're supposed to say things like, but there's also a way to manage expectations, right? You have to manage some stuff, and I don't think we did that very well from an optics standpoint. That's just my opinion. All right, Akash says, I heard that dude from Chicago is pretty good. I think his name is DJ or something. Maybe we could try trading for him. He might be pretty good. Yeah, I think he was pretty good.
Hey, he had a good game. What, 8 receptions, 131 yards, touchdown, finally?
Yeah. Still losing though.
Still losing.
Panita Tempest says, chances we go for someone like Amon-Ra. Lions have Jameson back. It's not happening, bro. I appreciate that super chat, but that's not happening. And I missed a lot of super chats. My bad. I was in the conversation. But yeah, I don't know, bro. It's tough in the situation regarding trading for a wide receiver, because this right here, even the rumor out here, is signaling that we're a little bit desperate.
Yes,
we're a little bit desperate right now.
Absolutely.
And it shows. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry to cut you off, bro. One thing you said on Twitter the other day was like, you want to hear from Tepper in the press conference. I want to hear from Fitterer. I want to hear from Fitterer in the press conference. I think that like he's been real quiet, and usually we know with Fitterer he cannot tell a lie.
He can't.
He always tells the truth, and I want to hear what's going on in his brain of like the roster, what he's looking for to get answers, because I don't think anybody saw what's going on for. I was thinking we were going to go 2-2, but 0-4, shocking.
Yeah, 0-4 is tough considering the next couple games too. It's not It's not pretty. It's gonna be a tough out the next couple, but hopefully we can get the ship righted. And yeah, I mean it's tough. But yeah, I did say that, y'all, we got to hear from Fitterer, because the reason why I said that, and some people came at me about it. And the reason why I say that is because, listen, how do you feel about it? Like, I want to know. Listen, you don't got to lay the cards out on the table,
right?
But I want to know. And shout out to Vashti, man. Shout out to Sheena and Vashti, because they asked the greatest questions.
Goats.
They asked the questions from a fan standpoint, and Sheena, Vashti asked the question to Reich about the fans and our expectations and what he thought about it. And he was, Reich was saying stay the course. That sounds nice, but I want to hear what the ownership thinks about this, because and kudos to Tepper, man. I got to give him his props.
Yeah.
He hired some of the best coaches out there on paper. He put together a great staff. But how do you really feel about what's being put out there right now? Like, what is the course moving forward? Like, what is the message to Frank Reich? What is the message to the players? You know what I mean?
We know Tepper is in terms of PR. I'm in the, me. My job is in marketing communications, right? And so, like, from a PR standpoint, Tepper's scary because he's gonna say whatever is on his mind. And I think that from a PR standpoint, they're like, wait, like, we don't want you in front of people yet because we don't know what you're gonna say. We saw that when Matt Rule was fired. He said some things to show that he got a little spicy, and so they really want to be mindful of that and probably preparing him for that, because he's going to have to say something eventually, and they know that. People are asking, he's going to have to say something. So I think they're prepping him on the back end for that.
That could be true. That could be, because we want to know, man. I don't even see him. They don't even show him in the box seats no more at the game. No, for real. Like, usually they'll show him. I mean, we'll see Nicole walking around. I ain't even seeing him. Not to say he's there. I don't know if he's there now. I'm just podding, but I really truly, they usually show him on the screen every now and then. I have not seen him. I have not. He's been MIA, and I'm not saying he's MIA because we're losing. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm just saying that usually you see him.
Right.
I just have not seen him. In my trip, I mean, do y'all see him?
I don't know. I saw a picture on Twitter from I think it might have been Sunday. He was in the box. He was on the phone though. He was texting.
Okay.
Might post it, but I mean, ain't nothing special. Like, you don't see what Mark Davis said in Las Vegas. Everybody's seeing all the videos and stuff about him, but you're not seeing it with Tepper.
Yeah. I don't know. But I would like to hear from him and how, and I'm not looking for anything specific. I just want to know how he feels as an owner about his product on the field. Is this what he expected? Right. Did he expect better? Like, obviously I know the answer to these questions. I just want to hear him say it.
Yeah.
Because if you feel the way we feel, then cool. We know that there's some things going to be changed. You know what I mean? But if you cool with it and you saying, all right, we knew this was going to happen. This is part of the process. This is what we anticipated. Then that might make me feel a little bit better about it. If this is kind of the course that you thought that things were going to go. Right. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying I want to hear from him. That's the context behind the tweet. If we go 0-6, we got to hear from your boy to see what he thinks about it. But anyway, all right. A Hero's Pass says this is to move Brian Burns and get some picks back. I don't know what you mean in regards to that.
I'm assuming he's saying the if we trade for wide receiver, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna trade for wide receiver and get picks back.
No, that's not. Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
I think, again, and I said this last. Maybe the post game show when I had the hater blockers on. I feel like if you trade Brian Burns is going to go to. I feel like only teams are going to trade for Brian Burns are going to be contenders.
Yep.
Right. They're going to be teams like that are playoff bound. They just need that edge rusher to get over the hump, which is going to leave you with a pick at the end of the round or end of the first round. Is that what you really want? Like, I mean, having a first round pick just to have a first round pick is not the move, right? You could also keep your top prize edge rusher and just pick it at the top end of the second. You got to analyze these things. You know what I mean? There's some, because again, we see it every draft where there's a first round talent drops into the second.
Right.
Maybe you can be patient and just still grab a guy. There's a lot of good wide receivers in this draft.
Absolutely.
So we got to be careful because a lot of people say we need to get a first round pick. You're just saying it just so we can have a first round pick,
right?
Just because we lost and we could potentially be top 2, right? As of right now, it's a top 2 pick. You're just saying that, but in reality, we can't get so lost in making moves just to make moves because we've done nothing but make moves too slow, in my opinion, and it's done nothing but shoot us in the foot. The C-Mac move, trading trading DJ Moore. Some of these moves are now looking like, and I hate the hindsight game. I hate doing it, bro. And that's the downside of losing so much right now because everybody's doing the hindsight shit. Everybody's saying, "Oh, we should have did this. We should have did that. This should have. If we didn't do this, we could have, should have, would have, probably, maybe if we." And I hate that because there's nothing you can do about it. It's all hypothetical. Like you're doing nothing but driving yourself insane. Right. You know what I mean? So we just got to be careful and not overreact to the fact that we don't have a first round pick. It's frustrating, I know, but we got to be careful. Right.
That's real. That's right.
All right. So let me move on because we spent a lot, and if Dave wants to come back to that, we'll come back. He's on his way, he said. But yeah, if he wants to elaborate more on that, we'll get back into that. There was no roster movement. I forgot to delete that slide. But here is the offensive line play. Okay, so the offensive line play, again, if you're not following us on X or Twitter, whatever we're calling it, be sure to follow us on there because we dropped these early. We dropped these right after the day after the game when they're released. We dropped these grades. Okay, so and when I looked at it, I was like, yo, it's not, they didn't play that bad. And a lot of it was probably due to the fact that we were getting rid of the football quick. We had a lot of those wide receiver screens, which were basically extensions of the run game. Yeah. So it wasn't that bad from an offensive line standpoint. And maybe Reich saw that and it's like, yo, maybe we need to pull back on some of this stuff and be a little bit more careful with how we're putting Bryce out there. So the offensive line didn't play terrible. I mean, Zavala he's been getting put on the Summer Jam screen right now. I think there is a post out there right now on Twitter saying that he's given up 28 pressures, which is the most by any guard by almost double. I think they said the next person is 14 pressures.
And he had 14 in one game.
And he had 14 in one game, fam. One game.
Crazy.
One game.
Crazy.
So when I look at it, I'm like, all right, maybe the offensive line wasn't too bad. We got to figure out what to do with Zavala. We got to figure out what to do with this left guard situation because there's a lot of Brady Christensen smoke. There's a lot of people saying Brady Christensen wasn't XYZ. But boy, does he appear to be the linchpin of that offensive line, bro. Because it's not looking good at all with him going. We missed Brady Christensen bad. But yeah, it wasn't terrible. Wasn't terrible. And again, the question I had for PFF, and maybe I need to double check because maybe they updated it. Sometimes they do update things after the fact, but let me double check because the question I had for PFF was that they only had 2 sacks accounted for given up by the offensive line or given up period. So one was by Chuba and the other one was Icky. And I believe maybe they didn't know who to attribute the other sacks to, but we gave up 5 total sacks. We gave up 5 total sacks. Shout out to Dave. Dave's in the building. Welcome, Dave.
My guy.
What's up with the villain laugh? What's up with the villain laugh, Dave?
What a mess. What a mess. What a mess. What a mess, man. What a mess.
You came in
and mess.
Line and said, what a mess.
What a mess. What a mess, guys. I know y'all already talked about wide receivers. I started listening around like 8:20, but I'll be quick. I'll be quick and simple, and don't mind my graphics, guys. Look, it's tough sledding in these streets. But all I'm going to say is this: if we trade for a wide receiver and he's not better than DJ Moore, we got to take Fitterer to the table, guys. Fitterer's got to come to the altar.
Agreed.
He's got to come to the altar, and the doors of the church will be open. He must come to the altar. He must come.
Who you want?
Won't you come? Won't you come? No, I can't. Now he ain't got enough money to pay them tithes. He needs
like,
more than 10%, bro. He needs more than 10% at this rate. If he out here trade, you can't trade for Chase Claypool. You can't. Jerry Jeudy, yeah, but he gets hurt too. Mm-hmm. You better go get Adams, but I know what it's going to take to get Adams. Adams is going to require like Burns and maybe a pick. You want to keep it a buck. But y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't want to hear that because you know
we talked about that. We talked about that possibility. Burns and a pick. I definitely don't want to hear that. Depending on what the pick is. But yeah, I mean, it sucks, bro. It sucks, man.
Would you do it for Burns in a fourth, or Burns in a second, or Burns in a fifth?
Maybe Burns in a fifth.
A fifth, maybe, but second is a stretch for me, bro.
Listen, man, I don't like when I see articles that say we're looking for a bona fide wide receiver one. Mm-hmm. Dog, we gonna be out here giving up 2025 first round picks.
Yeah.
If we so I feel like if Burns was on the table and you felt like you must have been uber confident you're gonna be able to sign this man. But it's obviously you didn't talk to him until it was negotiation time coming into the offseason. Mm-hmm. Because if you're telling me that Burns was an option to trade to move up to one, and you decided with DJ Moore that you've already paid, right? You already paid the man. And you probably that tells me that you're confident that you're going to sign Burns, and now you're like, I don't think I can sign Burns no more.
And keep in mind,
what is this?
They asked for Burns first.
You could have just did it then. I know the fan base wouldn't have been happy, but you could have just did it. And now you sitting here, we might not come with anything. We out here with a guy with Burns who can't even get a long-term deal with Burns. You're going to probably have to tag him next year. You ain't got no first-round pick to replace that type of pass rush if he decides to be disgruntled. Now you sitting here, you ain't got no wide receiver one. And now you sitting here wondering, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Like, I don't want to say this, man, because I don't want to be hot takey on a Monday night.
No, go for it.
If we go 0-6, bruh, my man might experience the same fate as Marty Herney did when they asked him the question, why are we 0-6? And my man Marty said, why are we this? And Marty said, I don't know. And next thing you know, Marty was packing that office. Y'all remember that? I remember that. Because Tepper's not trying to see this, bruh. Tepper out here.
Yeah,
Tepper out here looking like Tepper ain't trying to see this.
Yeah. But all right, let's move on from the wide receiver topic because I think it's gonna be tough if we can steal a Devontae Adams and somehow get him for maybe what you go back and look what, and I think Deontay White got a point up here when he said, well, look what it took for what the Cardinals got for D-Hop or what they gave up for D-Hop. It was nowhere near what, that kind of picks. It wasn't first round or anything like that. If you look at some of the other wide receiver trades that happened recently, it didn't cost that much. You know what I mean? So because they got paid, because their contracts are so large, finding a trade partner is a little bit more difficult. Now, because of what I said earlier with leverage, people know we're desperate. That could change, right? People know that we're desperate for a wide receiver. That could up the price. We could get caught slipping. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But like Dave said, and I agree with what Dave said, if we go for a wide receiver, bro, you can't be getting no bums. And I got Claypool up here, and that's why I got him up there. You can't go for a guy like him. You have to shoot high.
I said that. I said that after the game on Sunday, and I said that during the fantasy show. He's the guy. If we trade for a guy, it's going to be him. It's going to be him. And the thing is, it's going to be him. Panthers Twitter is going to be furious, and I'm just going to be telling y'all that I told you.
I told y'all.
I ain't got my buttons here. It's okay.
It sounds just like a sample yourself.
Bro, I did it. So why wouldn't it sound like me?
No, but sometimes you can't repeat the magic. Sometimes it don't come out the same way.
Facts.
It sounds just like that.
This is your guy. We're gonna hear Ian Rappaport or Sheena Quick come out and be like, My sources have told me that Chase Claypool has been traded to the Carolina Panthers for a 5th-round pick or a 6th-round pick.
They already came out and said they possibly release him. So
yeah, they were saying he's just gonna get released from his contract. So we don't know for sure. I doubt we'll trade for a guy like Claypool. No,
we'll put a claim in for him though.
Well, that's different.
I would too.
I would accept that. But it still ain't good enough. It still ain't good enough
because he ain't a one either.
Yeah,
but that's
he's not. He's not.
Better than
but all I'm gonna say is this: if he was a one, the Bears wouldn't have traded for DJ Moore.
Right.
If he was a one.
Right. Agreed.
All
right. D'Angelo says, I saw a report today on Facebook. We were interested in Hollywood Brown.
That's better than him.
It's better. Yeah,
it's better than Claypool. Yeah. But it ain't it.
He's closer to a one than all the other options I've heard.
Including Jerry Jeudy?
I know everybody is saying everybody's saying Judy's a one, but what has he done to say that he's a one?
I agree with you, Dave.
Like, I don't think folks want to talk about that, but Sutton's been the one. But
he dropped in like great route runner, great speed. His hands are a little shaky.
Whoever said I'd rather have Mooney instead of Claypool, I completely agree with you. I like Mooney way more than I like Claypool, but I don't think the Bears will trade Mooney.
Shout out Deontay White. He says, F them picks. Y'all really trust us to draft players, trade for good players. Now, like the Rams, we got to decide if we are a building or rebuilding. And it's a good point. I mean, that's the messaging is important. You got two ways to build a team. We've seen it a million times. You saw what the Rams did where they said F the picks. They never had first-round picks forever, but they were able to put together a Super Bowl caliber team because they did it all via all veterans. The difference is that this is a big difference because we talk about this all the time, is that destination matters, right? Mm-hmm. Dudes want to go to LA and they want to play in LA because LA is great. We're not LA. We don't have Sean McVay. We don't have any of that proven coaching that they have. We're just not a desirable place like LA. So there's a lot to come with it. People will go. This is why you see guys going to Miami or going to LA or going to San Francisco. Those are destinations that people want to be in.
Right.
Right. So being a small market team, you have to take that into account. Some people just ain't down for the country living, bro. Even though Charlotte's turning into something crazy, it's just not there yet. You know what I mean? So yeah, keep that in mind. But I agree with your point. Your point is valid, Deontay. One more. It says if we trade Burns and then we had no intention to pay him, just my opinion, how can you let him go and hope just to draft a star pass rusher? Yeah, it's tough. It's not easy, bro. It's not easy to get those elite pass rushers. It's
all
hard.
I'm gonna say it what I've always said. If you don't sign him, you have to trade him.
Yeah,
you have to.
A million times.
You have to. Like, guys, we just saw this with Christian McCaffrey. When he hit 1,000, first thing I said was trade him. Trade him now. Trade him now. Trade him now. Value's at his highest. If you don't trade him now, if you can't sign this man, you have to trade him.
Mm-hmm.
Get the 2 first-round picks and walk away. Do I think we can replace him immediately? Absolutely not. But I bet you it sounds better than not getting anything for him and he just walks.
Yeah.
Like we're not, and don't worry, I love Brian Burns. Let me be clear. Shout out to the brother. But it's just you gotta make smarter business decisions. This franchise historically has let folks walk for nothing. Josh Norman. I think the best thing we got was when we traded Chris Jenkins. Some of y'all probably weren't around when that happened. We got good value for Chris Jenkins at the time when we traded to the Jets. And he was an elite defensive tackle, one of the best defensive tackles in the league at the time when we traded him. So, but we let Julius Peppers walk out of here with nothing.
We did.
Let's not do this.
Right.
And then
trade your guys at the peak.
The problem though is it goes back to the super chat that was put out there earlier. The problem is when you get assets for a guy like Christian McCaffrey, you gotta knock the shit out the park. When you draft dudes, who are the picks for McCaffrey? Who are the 2 picks? Is it Mingo and DJ? Are those the 2 picks?
Well, we had to use picks to trade for DJ, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I can't remember which picks it was, but I think if you map, it doesn't matter who we drafted because the whole draft looking mid right now. But outside of Bryce, but if you're looking at it, you have to knock it out the park when you can't just get assets and be trash at drafting. And that's part of the problem with Carolina is even if we do trade, do you trust them to make the picks? And the answer is question mark. It's been mid. We have not been able to knock picks out the park. We haven't. So I'm skeptical for us even trading a guy like Brian Burns for picks because you don't know what you're gonna get. Thanks. Now, if you trade him for Devontae Adams, different conversation.
That's a straight pick. That's a straight trade.
That's a different conversation. But trading for picks, you got to knock it out the park, and we have not been able to do it. We just haven't. We haven't. So it sounds nice,
right? It
sounds nice, but theoretically, in reality, don't mesh sometimes. You know what I mean? So, all right, offensive line. We talked about the offensive line. They were not as bad as we thought, and that's partially due to the scheme. Obviously, there was a lot of screen passes, which we'll take a look at a little bit later. But here is the highest graded defender, Jeremy Chin. Welcome back, Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin was all over the place in this game. He loves playing the Vikings for some reason. He played 31 total snaps, 13 run defense snaps, 1 pass rush, 17 coverage snaps. He also had a sack, 4 tackles, 4 targets, where he allowed only 2 receptions. He had a pass breakup and only allowed 10 yards in coverage. I mean, it don't get much better than that. That's a stat stuffed right there. The stat sheet is stuffed, B. So what do y'all think about Jeremy Chin? Is it good to see him back? How y'all feel about that?
Dave, what you think?
I think that I'm happy that he's back, and I'm happy they found a place, and I'm happy that PFF was able to rate him properly. You know, in the past, sometimes PFF was out here not rating that my man properly. And we even asked the guys about that. So I'm happy that he's back and balling better than ever. And I hope this keeps up. They figured him out. And shout out to the DC for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
because he got more puzzle pieces. My man playing Tetris with the defense right now.
We're gonna talk about that. Hold that thought, Dave. Hold that thought. We're definitely gonna talk about that later on in the show. But yeah, 1,000%. He's doing a really good job. And it's good to see Chin. Carlo, you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, man. I think first off, I'm happy to like Dave said it best, man. I'm happy to see him balling. I was a little nervous during the Saints game when he wasn't played a lot, and I was like, okay, is this trade bait? Is he about to be gone? What we doing? But I think like he showed up when we needed him most. A lot of injuries are out, and he was all over the field, rushing, coverage. He just showed him like it reminded me of his rookie year. And like you said, he loves the Vikings. We remember that game, his rookie year, and how he showed out. And so, like, I think it was great. And I think it was a confidence boost for not only the defense, but for him, too. So I expect to see him against the Lions, like, really step up and do this again.
My man A-Cash says Chin gets inspired to be like Harrison Smith whenever he plays the Vikings. Unfortunately, Harrison Smith had a better day. 3 sacks. 3 sacks on the day. Not pretty, but yeah, man. Jeremy Chin I hope we can see that consistently from him.
Yes.
And if we do, he's gonna be another guy we're gonna have to pay because he's on his contract year as well. No 50 option because he was drafted in the 2nd round. So something to keep an eye on. But shout out to Jeremy Chin, man. Total offensive grade for Adam Thielen. But Chenault was, according to PFF, graded the highest. Had 13 snaps, 8 pass snaps, 5 run snaps, 1 target, 1 reception, 1 rush attempt for 7 yards. So I probably should have put Thielen up there, but I give him his credit.
He produced.
Nah, it's fine.
All right. Any thoughts on Laviska?
They're starting to use him like we thought they were going to use him in the preseason, so I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, but not enough.
Not enough. Yes, not enough.
It's never going to be enough with this offensive all-star offensive coordinator, offensive coaching staff.
Yeah, it's always first quarter though. It's like, okay, first play, we're gonna run, and then we're gonna use Chenault on the screen, and then if it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, we use Chenault for the rush. Oh, Chenault got 7 yards, great. All right, you're done. Like it's we don't use him enough. You know what I mean? And it's to me, it's frustrating, very frustrating.
Yeah, I agree, especially when we don't have a power back.
Right.
Go ahead, Dave.
I'm good.
Oh. Kyle's Uncharted Life says, YGM stock up, possible trade for picks. Well, hold your horses, man. Hold your horses. We're going to get there.
Slow down.
We'll get there. But shout out to Kyle for that super chat, man. All right. So real quick, patreon.com/PlayStationPC. Want to become a Patreon member. Shout out to my man T Wells. T Wells could not attend the Falcons game. So he put that one back in the bank for it to be
I see what you did there.
Unintentional. I didn't.
Unintentional.
Huh? It happened. It happened. Bars. I'll take it. But he gave that one back, and I will do another giveaway for that in the coming weeks. I wasn't prepared to do it today, so MVP folks, stay tuned. We'll be doing another MVP giveaway for the final ticket versus the Falcons. So stay tuned for that. All right. Shout out to all of the franchise folks. We appreciate y'all support. And shout out to the free agents, man. I got to give my man Hector a shout out because I didn't add him to the list, but he definitely signed up to become a Patreon member. Yeah, he joined, man. Shout out to my man Hector, long time listener. We appreciate, man. Hope you're having a good season too. He plays football, so shout out to Hector, man. Shout out to Hector. All right, Underdog Fantasy Day. You want to do a real quick underdog look?
Let me tell you, they got this thing called Scorchers, and I talked about it during my fantasy show on Sunday. This thing called Scorchers, you have an opportunity to win 100 times your money. If you give 5 Scorchers, you get all 5 right, 100 times your money. So you put $5 in, you could come home with $100 on your pick'ems. So go to underdogfantasy.com, use the promo code PNP, and I believe you only have 1 day left before they go up. They continue the $500 deposit match. I think it ends tomorrow. So go to underdogfantasy.com. and use the promo code PNP when you do.
Sounds good. All right. Couple super chats we got to get to. Which is worse, letting a player walk and getting nothing back, J-No, or extending them and then trading, messing up the dead cap money.
The latter.
For CMC. Yeah.
The latter. Dog. Because we still got to pay we got to pay the cap. The latter. And do you think we got enough for CMC? I don't think we got enough for CMC.
Yeah, but we got way too late.
I know, but we got what I expected us to get. Well, it wasn't enough. I thought we could have gotten multiple first round picks trading what I said to do it. But everybody wanted to pay CMC. And now everybody's like, he balling for San Francisco. He ain't balling for us the last 2 years. Matt Rule showed up all of a sudden. We couldn't find him on the field. Facts. Oh God, I should be saying these things, man.
You shouldn't. They're gonna be coming. They come up from your head.
Dog, listen, man. I had Frank Reich troopers on my timeline this week, so they all coming, bro. It's fine. I'm ready. I've done this again. I've done this before.
He has.
I've been here. I have multiple seasons of experience with this. Facts. So I am ready. I am seasoned. Not old, like some of y'all.
Is it bad that I'm a Vikings and a Panthers fan? Been a Vikings fan since my very first jersey, which is Adrian Peterson. Hey, listen, you be a fan whoever you want to be. I'm gonna tell you this: we ain't trying to be your second favorite though. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't want to be either you in or you out. Pause. I mean, pick one. T. Holiday says. We overvalue our players. Burns is not a top 10 defensive end. 2 firsts and a third was an overpay. Leonard Floyd for $7 million would have got 10 sacks, just like Burns. I mean, I will agree with the first point that we do overvalue our players. That's a fact. I mean, most fans do overvalue their players. I don't disagree with that point. I think he's gonna have more than 10 sacks. He has 3, I want to say right now. Yeah. And one thing I want to point out, because I'm glad y'all brought this up, in that, it's funny. Does anybody know how many sacks Nick Bosa has?
I think the answer is probably 0, but
he's got 1.
Oh, he's got
1 sack. He's got 1 sack.
It ain't about the sacks.
I'm just saying. Do y'all see any San Francisco fans? Saying, "Oh, we shouldn't have paid him. We got to get rid of Nick Bosa. He's trash."
No. They are undefeated too.
One of the only undefeated teams left in the NFL.
It takes more than one player.
No, it's not even that. It's not even that, guys. The reason why that man ain't got no sacks like that is because they're all scheming for us behind. So he's opening up for everybody else.
True.
That's how it works. San Fran don't care if Nick Bosa ain't got no sacks because everybody's paying attention to Nick Bosa. So all these other guys that you never heard of in your life is out here putting in this work.
So you say
San Fran out here.
You think that's what's happening with YGM right now?
Yeah, man. You don't think Burns being on the other side helps? Let Burns walk and see how great YGM is.
That's all I'm saying.
Let Burns walk out of here. Y'all be like, well, we don't need Burns. He ain't getting no sacks. And then be like, we got YGM. And then all of a sudden, y'all be like, why ain't YGM ain't getting no sacks?
Right. Exactly.
Guys. Oh, man.
NC Getting Boy says, honestly, bros, I don't even know if it's the receivers. I think we need a better play caller. I think we would have won a game or two by now. Yeah, we definitely should have got a couple of dubs for sure.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. All right. All right. So let's keep moving with stock up, stock down. We gotta do rookie watch first. My bad. So rookie watch. Bryce Young. This is his scores. Again, his best game of the season. I think people are. I know he had the fumble, and I know it looked ugly, and I know people are frustrated with that. I get it. But this was his better game. And we talk about the scheme. We talk about all those passes behind the line of scrimmage. I think it was like 13 or so passes behind the line of scrimmage. It's a lot. A lot of those passes were essentially designed runs to kind of move, try to get some explosiveness, get into your playmakers' hands first, and let them shake. That's not happening. It's not working. We've heard Frank Reich mention that, and that he wants to get the ball out quick and let the playmakers go to work. That's just not working. It's just not working right now. But Bryce overall, he had a decent day considering the circumstances. There's a couple of pieces of context to go with that. Obviously we have this the separation chart, which is the chart on the left. As you can see, all of our guys were over the league average in regards to separation, with the exception of Ian Thomas, and we don't really. Do we even acknowledge him?
Can we have a discussion of how terrible that is?
Do we even acknowledge him is the question, because I didn't even see that. I don't even see
he starts. Doesn't he? Isn't he considered? Well, he doesn't start. It's hers, but
I don't do the stuff. It's all about.
Well, what? But he still made the cut with 0.89 yards of separation.
But I think the separation thing is interesting because we've been tracking this every game, and the separation. This is the best quote unquote separation game we've seen, and I think a lot of it had to do with the plays behind the line of scrimmage, the screens. I think it had a lot to do with that. And again, I don't know how they chart these. I don't know how they come up with it. I don't know the answers to that, but the numbers are what they are. And to Bryce, this was his best game. It goes with the separation, 25 of 32, 204 yards. He had a touchdown thrown to said Ian Thomas, who hit him right in the hands. He couldn't bring it down. And some of these, if we just had some better weapons, I think that Bryce would be fine. Bryce is showing, and that's what's frustrating, because it's getting overlooked, because he's showing some great things. He's showing the propensity to move, move the pocket, make some tight window throws. He had an amazing play where he was able to step up in the pocket and deliver a strike, I believe, to Thielen. Mm-hmm. And we've seen it. I see progression from Bryce. It's just that it's unfortunate, because whether you want to blame the play calling or whether you want to blame the weapons, it's just not working out as a whole. We can't get the run game established. There's so many different nuances and pieces to it that we can blame a lot of things. And I don't care who you're going to blame. Whether you want to blame Frank Reich, you want to put in Thomas Brown, whatever it is, we need to get it fixed, because the defense is playing well enough. And we're going to talk about defense later, but they're playing well enough. We just need to get it going. Outside of that turnover, that fumble, which kind of took that was a big swing. It was a 10-point swing.
That was a big swing.
It just sucks. It just sucks, man. It sucks. He had a good game outside of that one fumble.
Agreed.
So any thoughts? Any thoughts on what Bryce is doing?
He's running the offense that's given to him. I wish he had less passes out behind the line of scrimmage, but
yeah,
he's running the offense that's given to him.
I'm gonna start a hashtag. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
No, you got it. You got it.
Now I was gonna say I just want to start a hashtag that say free Bryce, man. Like, I think the biggest thing right now is like you trade up to number 1 because he's that guy. He's a playmaker. He can throw every throw. Like we all watched the Blueprint episodes. Like we heard what Frank Reich was looking for in a quarterback, and the fact that you have a leash on him, because it, to us from the outside looking in, it seems like you don't trust him because the playbook was open wide for Andy Dalton, but when it's Bryce's turn, it's nothing but 13 throws for screens. It's like, no, like you at some point you gotta take the leash off and let Bryce be Bryce. So man, free my man.
And one thing with Bryce too is he has a little bit of freedom, right? And is he making the right decisions when he's checking? Because we heard him check a lot. He checked a lot of plays.
He did.
And maybe he got frustrated with himself because a lot of people were saying he was mad because of the play call. When it apparently looked like, it was on him. Like he said, he switched the play to the wide receiver screen. So we can't, we got to be careful when we start talking about play calls, because the reality is we don't know who's calling the plays. I know y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all don't want to hear this stuff, but it's the truth. We don't know who's calling the plays. We don't know whether it's a Thomas Brown design play. We don't know. We just don't know. Okay, we don't know, and we don't know whether Bryce checked the play or whether Bryce went rogue and called his own play. We don't know.
That's true.
We don't know. And so some of that stuff has to be taken into account. You got to be careful when it comes to blaming folks. Again, I'm as frustrated as you all are. I get it. Completely understand. But it is what it is. And I think Bryce, the quarterback, is going to be fine. I proudly wear my Bryce Young jersey. I believe he's the answer. I have no question. And again, I know it's tough for y'all because all y'all see is CJ Stroud going crazy, setting records. I know it. And it's a guy that was a CJ Stroud guy. It sucks. Okay. Everybody knows I was a CJ Stroud guy. It sucks.
Rashad, it's more to it than that, guys. You have to consider this. Ain't no guarantee he's breaking the records if he was we had our jersey on.
No, I know that. I know that, Dave. That's what I'm saying. I understand that. I completely get that. But I'm just saying, I know it's frustrating either way. I know it's frustrating. I know it is. So we just got to hang in there, man. Hopefully it gets better. But Bryce, and this is the rookie watch segment, so I think Bryce is improving. This is his best game, according to PFF, and statistically was his best game. Very efficient. So he's got to protect the football when it comes to those sacks. He's fumbling a couple of times, and those have been big fumbles, and we got to do better. He's got to protect the football. So there's some room for improvement for Bryce, but for what I've seen, he's getting better. So that's Bryce Young. Jonathan Mingo did not play, has a concussion in the protocol. He'll be back next week. DJ Johnson played 6 snaps, 3 pass rush snaps, 6 run snaps. He had an assisted tackle. Pretty interesting to see where he lined up on both sides as an outside linebacker. That kind of keeping an eye on where he goes. Has some kick return, punt return snaps as well. Juice Wick, shout out to Juice Wick for the super chat. He says, overlap the routes, run with the throw chart to see. I don't know. I mean, yeah, we could do that. We could do that. All right, hold that thought. We'll come back to that. But DJ Johnson, again, this is his first time playing and being active. So for those that are, pissed that we traded up for him, you finally got to see him at least. But anyway, we talked about Chandler Zavala earlier. Need to move him back to right guard, because that's where he played better. I believe I was looking at his grades. He was averaging in the 50s for his grades at right guard. Now he's going to left guard. I mean, he's been down in the 20s and 30s. It's been ugly. It's been ugly. It's really been ugly. So hopefully he'll continue to improve. We don't have much of a choice. I would like to see somebody else there at left guard. To be honest with you, I don't know what the deal is with Deontay Brown. I would like to see somebody else there because it ain't pretty. It's not pretty. All right. Any thoughts on Zavala or DJ Johnson? I kind of moved through those quick. All right.
Nope. I'm done. I'm done talking about Zavala, man. I'm trying. Like I'm still in grace mode, but I gotta accept what it is right now.
Yeah. I think with DJ, I'm not
a
cardio cat.
Y'all ain't right,
bro. That my man said Vala. That's funny. That's funny, man. Shout out to Saturday Night Lights. Tears for 2015, bro. That's all we can go back to is the good days, man. That's all we can go back to, man. That's it. All right.
My man said I'd rather be 0-4 with Stroud than with Bryce. 0-4 is 0-4. It does not matter who it is, ladies and gentlemen. Bad is bad. Record is record. Defeated is defeated.
Right.
It does not matter. And y'all will be panicking anyway. If we had Stroud at 0-4, if we had Richardson at 0-4, y'all will still be asking for Fitterer's head right now.
Y'all will be asking
Reich's head right. Somebody should pack them up.
If it was CJ Stroud and we were 0-4, y'all would have been saying we should have got Bryce. And if y'all would, that's why I hate the shoulda, coulda, woulda game. We got who we got. Let's see if we can get this thing figured out. If not, we just can complain. But the shoulda, coulda, woulda is not gonna get any of those guys on our team. Maybe it might get us Justin Fields though, because the way
I got a better way to put it. I got a better way to put it. Imagine if Patrick Mahomes was on the Bears or the Jets. He wouldn't be Patrick Mahomes now. I can promise you that. I can promise you that. Because he ain't got Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy. So stop the madness, guys. It matters who you got grooming.
T. Holiday says, since 2010, we're one of the worst drafting teams. We should respect Rivera coaching and teams more. Gettleman, Hurney, and Fit all sucked.
Oh, Rivera never lost the locker room.
Yeah, it was time for Rivera to go.
No, it was. That's fine. But I'm just never lost the locker room. He ain't even losing in Washington yet. Consider the show he's still with now.
It was time. We love Ron, but it was time, bro. We had peaked with Ron, bro. But,
and meanwhile, we sitting here without Ron and ain't sniff a playoff appearance other than with the Ron disciple.
He ain't done much either over there with Washington either.
He's won a division.
Here you go. What was the record, Dave?
It doesn't matter. He's made the playoffs. Something that we have not done.
Semantic Dave. There we go.
We almost made the playoffs with a losing record last year. Like, come on.
We know because you bring it up every pod. We know.
I just want to remind y'all. And guess what? You know how happy this fan base would have been if your train driver CJ Henderson would have.
There you go.
Nah, but either way, let's keep it moving. Because otherwise, I'll get angry.
All right. Average life of a GM. How much time you giving Fitterer? It's getting close to the end, bro.
One more year, guys. He's gonna be there for one more year. One more year at least.
Unless he turns it around in some miraculous way.
I mean, this is the first time the man has to get to hire a coach. So, you got to give him at least one more year. I understand that folks might be concerned. There could be a possibility his head might be gone if we're 0-6 going into the bye. But the reality is, you got to get a man some time. And patience has been a problem with the person that's running the show. It has been. But,
All right.
Got to be patient at some point.
Let's see. Let's keep it moving. Stock up, stock down. We'll get through these pretty quick here, but Kamu Grugier-Hill, obviously he's been balling. He's been playing well. He's done nothing but attract to the football because he's been picking off footballs all training camp, all preseason, and ends up with a tip drill interception. I mean, he's been great, and I mean, honestly, you couldn't ask for a better replacement for Shaq Thompson. We knew the first game where he came in and had to replace Shaq Thompson, there was going to be some bumps. You got to get the signal calls. But this past 2 games, he has played pretty well. I mean, he's got 2 tackles. He had the interception. I mean, he's been playing well. So shout to Kamu. Shout to the Usos, him and Luvu, man. They've been killing. They've been killing, man. So any thoughts on Kamu Grugier-Hill?
Baller.
Dog
stepped up to the plate big time with all the injuries, man. Baller.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Agreed.
That's all I got.
We'll keep it moving. Sam Franklin gave up a big pass interference call, and then
made that thing up in seconds.
Loved it.
He definitely gave that up. Next couple of plays ends up with a pick six, very reminiscent of the preseason game where he picked off a pass, almost took it to the house, was tripped up by I believe it was a quarterback that tripped him up. But this time he waited for his blocks. He was patient. And lined up that pick six. And so shout out to Sam Franklin. Again, that's another guy that has stepped up in lieu of injury, and he had a good preseason. He's following it up with very good play. Again, I know he gave up the PI, the big PI. It was like a 40-some yard pass interference, but he definitely made up for it. So shout out to Sam Franklin. Any thoughts on Sam Franklin?
No, it's really more so shout out to Evero putting the pieces together, man. Like, I think like the depth and letting people play free is showing. It's showing, and putting people in the right spots. And so Sam Franklin definitely stepped up, man. He could have put his head down and just got upset about the PI, but to come around and do that 99-yard pick six, I can't. I think he's a fan favorite. He's been around for a while, special teamer, and so for him to get his first career touchdown like that, can't ask for better. I think the only thing that made it better was a W.
Yeah, and he also added four total tackles as well, 2 solo and 4 tackles. So yeah, man, good play, good play by Sam Franklin. All right, moving on. The guy that helped spring that touchdown, Deshaun Jameson. I mean, he had a great game as well. He had a really, really tough task ahead of him. He had played some coverage snaps against Justin Jefferson. He took some lumps, but he was also in position on a couple of those. He had 2 tackles, 1 solo. Yep, never mind. No, he had 1 tackle. My bad. Wrong Deshaun. 1 tackle. But yeah, man, great play by Deshaun. It's especially considered circumstances. We just talked about how the guys had to step up. I mean, Dante Jackson, he goes down. And here you go. Deshaun Jameson jumps right in there. Tough task ahead of him. And I think he stepped up to the plate. So shout out to Deshaun Jameson. Any thoughts on him?
Look, man. Listen, man, we got to have this. Look, I know we got to talk about Evero soon, but we kind of need to pick up the pace and get there. Because let me tell you something, bro. He out here.
You got to give the before you pick up the pace. You got to give the context. You got to give the context of these, because all these guys that are stock up. Look at him. Yetur Gross-Matos, another one, a guy that is playing well. 4 tackles, 4 solo tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and he added a sack. I mean, bro, like he's been around for a while here. I know it's a contract year. There may be some added motivation, but these past couple games, this is the YGM we thought we were getting from Penn State in year 1. It's taking some time, but the guy is playing pretty darn well. So shout out to Yetur Gross-Matos. Any thoughts on him?
The guy to the left of him is the guy you guys don't want to pay. Y'all want to get him out of here. And that guy to the left of him springs things for the guy in the middle to ball out of his mind. And it's beautiful that we're seeing stuff out of YGM now, so I love it.
Yeah, shout out to YGM, man. He's playing pretty well, so no complaints with him. All right, Jeremy Chin, we talked about him earlier, so we'll skip him. He's the highest graded defender, so we'll move on from him. But he deserves his stock up for the record. Okay, so anybody wants to come back to this, he deserves his stock up. Okay, and then Adam Thielen, he's been, bro. I don't know where life would be without Adam Thielen.
Consistent,
super Mr. Consistent. We got him for the next 3 years. The guy's just been all of our offense. 7 receptions off 8 targets, 76 yards, had a longer 22. This guy, man, again, like I said, without him, we would be. So
I got a question. Since we're on Adam Thielen, I'll ask this question: do you want Adam Thielen, or do you want Chase Claypool being your 1?
I mean, listen, bro.
I'm just having fun now.
Dave, do you remember when I said that? I said it early on the pod, but I said that before the season started, if Adam Thielen is our number 1 wide receiver, we are in trouble. I said that because I think you predicted.
I said he's the one. I said he was going to be the one.
You predicted that he was going to have the most total yards, and I said if that's the case, we're going to be in trouble. And look at us. Yeah, now I could. We both could say I told y'all on that because listen, it ain't it. I love Adam Thielen. I think he should be more of a situational guy than what he is. He's more of a like super reliable number 1 guy right now, and I felt he should be more of a complimentary piece than he is a number 1. I think he's better when he's playing off of somebody. Like when he has the Justin Jefferson there, he can play off. He can be even better, but he needs somebody else. But right now, it's just like you take Thielen out the game, nobody else is gonna show up, and that's gonna start happening as teams adjust. But we'll see. But right now, man, he's like I said earlier, he's on pace for 1,200 yards receiving and 9 touchdowns. That's what he's on pace for. And if he does that, I mean, that's career. I think that's career numbers for him, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I can check real quick. It's gonna take me too long to find it, but yeah, it could be a career season for him, and he's up in his 30s, so 33 years old. So tough for Adam Thielen. He's healthy, he's playing well. So we so glad to have him. All right, and did it against his former team. So now we got here finally. Evero definitely deserves a stock up, and he deserves a stock up because, like Dave said earlier, the pieces that we are missing from this defense should be our defense should be crippled. Mm-hmm. We should be getting torched. We should be getting beat. We should be getting killed. We should have one of the worst defenses in the league based off the injuries that we have and continue to experience. Because what I didn't show on the injury report earlier is we lost Dante Jackson to a shoulder. Don't know how long or how serious that is, but he didn't play the rest of the game. We're down 2 corners. And a half, honestly, because CJ's a little bit banged up too. We're down starting safety. We're down starting middle linebacker. It's just across the board injuries. And what he's been able to do.
Marquise Haynes.
No Marquise Haynes. What he's been able to do.
Out.
It's been nothing short of a man. And people talking about the run game, bro, I'll take that. I'll take giving up the run. If you listen, we only gave up, like, we were in the game, bro. We were in the game. I'll take what we gave up in the run game to slow down some of that high-powered offense or the high-powered pass game from Kirk Cousins. I'll take that. It's a gift and a curse. You got to give a little bit somewhere. So I'll take that. That's called scheming. It's a bend but don't break. If you can keep them out of the end zone, that's all that matters. I think that the defense definitely did their part. If the offense holds up and scores, I think the game should have been won. And that can be said for a lot of these games. That can be said for basically every game. The defense does their part until they don't anymore. And then they break eventually because the offense sucks. So any thought, Dave? You're so eager to get to him, and now you're quiet.
I'm on mute. I apologize. I was talking to my damn self. But now, listen, man. Normally, DCs tend to get 2 years in this spot. I'm very afraid that if he keeps at this rate, somebody's going to scoop him up after 1, and we won't get no type of compensation if that happens. He's killing it, bro. He's killing it. Like, he's a coach. He's a coach. He's adjusting to what he has, and he's making it work. Wish our offensive side could figure that out.
Yeah.
But that's what you're supposed to do. That's what coaches do. And we brought this guy in and decided that we didn't want to hire him as a head coach, by the way.
We did. He definitely got the head coach interview.
Oh, yeah.
Then, yeah, that sucks.
Bruh. But we wanted an offensive guy, right?
Yeah, we did.
And the irony is the reason why we want an offensive guy is to keep him in the room. And now the best coach we got right now might be the defensive guy, and he might be gone in a year.
That's a fact. That's a great point, by the way. It's a great point.
Yeah.
Great point. And speaking of that, we gotta give Frank Reich a stock down for just that point.
Yo.
So just that point. I mean, shout out to Gwaine Martin. I hope I said your name right, fam. Run game thoughts. This is part of it, right? Chuba better than Miles. This is part of the problem. We cannot establish a run, and for a team that was so heavy run last year at the end of the season, we showed a great ability to run the football. And for us to now not be able to run anything, and maybe it's due to us not having Foreman. Foreman was a big piece of that. And we don't have that type of bruiser running back. We got a bunch of dudes that like to dance in the backfield. Pause. Chuba. I like Chuba. I think Chuba's outplaying Miles. I do think Miles Sanders is hurt. I think that's part of it. But I said it earlier. If you're hurt, you shouldn't be playing. Go ahead and get healthy and then come back. I mean, when you're healthy. But even with that, I mean, the criticism for Miles is that, he was a product of that great offensive line that the Eagles had. And that's the reason why he was so good. And now we're seeing that he can't create on his own. You know what I mean? So, and Chuba does look like the more explosive back. I mean, he just does. So, I mean,
look at DeAndre Swift and what he's doing right now with the Eagles. It's that line.
Yo, man, I've come to the conclusion that Miles Sanders is a system guy. He's not going to do nothing for us.
Damn, Dave's coming out swinging.
And just shots.
And look, bruh, like, dog, when you out here being under 2 yards a carry, like you can't, right? Like, and here's the thing, and it's easy to blame the offensive line. Like, that's the easy target. But nah, dog, some of that's on you too. I was able to do better than 2 yards a carry. Like, I can't. Like, I can't defend it. I can't defend this. Like, all the Eagles fans, when I posted that tweet talking about I'm ready to have the Miles Sanders discussion, do you understand how many Eagles fans that said, try to tell y'all, that's what we're happy he was gone. We knew that when he was here. You found out what we already knew. Like, it's rough, bruh. And you said 2025, right? Is when we could get out that deal without too much cap damage.
Yeah, we can't get out of that deal for a minute. Kyle's Uncharted Life says all them tight ends and no power formation. Yeah, we can't run the ball save while.
But he likes the tight end room. He loves the tight end room.
Locked down.
We did a decent job running the football that first drive, and then after that, it was out the window. Like we could not run the football anymore. Vikings adjusted, and that was it. And we kept trying. We tried. Just could not get it going for some reason. So whether it's offensive line, whether it's Miles, I saw a couple times where there was guys in the backfield meeting him at the point of the handoff. You can't blame that on Miles. Maybe there are some places where it may be, and I don't know that to be true because I haven't saw the all-22 views yet. But maybe there was some points where Miles missed a gap. Maybe that's true. But I saw more than not, there was guys in the backfield, but like meeting Miles 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and you can't do nothing. There's nothing you could do about that. So, again, I think there's blame for the run game to go around everywhere. Everybody can get some blame to that. All right, Two Geeks says Great Wall of Carolina done got torn down. Yeah, we don't even speak of that no more, bro. That's a damn afterthought.
I mean, it's an occasional wall. It's like the Great Occasional Wall of Carolina.
We don't do temporary walls, Dave.
We need to right now at this rate.
We tried it. It don't work.
Maybe it was just a great wall when you had a coach that actually, enhance the strengths and remove the weaknesses and reduce the weaknesses.
Yeah, I think Frank thought he had Jonathan Taylor and Miles Sanders, and that is not the case.
He might try to trade for Jonathan Taylor. Y'all ready?
He also didn't have that offensive line that the Colts had a good offensive line back in the days. They had some really top tier offensive linemen.
Yeah. After Andrew Luck retires, they finally get an offensive line. After they killed Andrew Luck, they finally fix the offensive line.
They had great offensive line play up in Indianapolis.
People tend to forget about that.
Moss complains that he's not getting the bag.
You talking about the money?
It said he got the bag.
He definitely
sure did.
Cos on Charlie said the Great Wall of Sheetrock. Yeah, basically. Yeah, it ain't pretty, bro. And appreciate all the super chats. Frank Reich again, stock down, the coaching, whatever it is, we got to find a way. We got to find a way to get it right. Whether it's handing over play calling, I don't care what it is. Whatever it is, I just need results.
I want to hear from y'all real quick on his press conference around. I called a play for Adam Thielen, and then realized late that Adam Thielen was not in the game. I had to call a timeout.
I mean, I potted on that already. I feel like that was a stupid thing to say publicly. Like,
I'll give him props for admitting it.
Nah, F that. We don't need to know that, bro.
Right. I agree.
We don't need to know stuff like that.
I agree.
That lessens the confidence in our confidence in you as a coach. If you're doing that, what else are you doing?
Is it better for it to come from him or better than or a source in the locker room saying it? And we find out via Ashina Quick or Joe Person.
If it's a source from the locker room, then sources can be denied. Like if you're not gonna put a name behind the bullet, I don't care. But like, I mean, I don't want to hear that, bro. I don't want to hear that you called a play. That's just irrelevant. First of all, we don't care. All we care about is W's.
I figured he was trying to protect Bryce, but nobody was blaming Bryce in that situation.
Nobody blamed Bryce for anything. We don't even know what he was. What?
But you can't. But the thing is, you can't blame Bryce.
Right.
You can't blame Bryce in that situation. That's squarely on the coach.
Yeah.
An experienced head coach at that.
Right.
That's the thing, man. Like, that's the thing that annoys me about it all. If it was somebody that was like a OC or a DC that just became a head coach and something like that happens, I'll be furious, but I would give a little bit more grace.
Right.
This guy's been a coach for years. Hopped onto to another job just like that. And you out here making like classic mistakes. That timeout killed our chances for winning the game too. Killed it. That timeout ended up being a factor. His ass out here using timeouts when he shouldn't be using them and not using them when he needed to use them.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the first half.
Right.
Unbelievable.
And
Panero bailed him out. And Panero bailed that man out.
You're right. And going back to that, what was more frustrating about that press conference was that he said that, Panero bailed me out. But my intention from what he said was to always kick a field goal anyway.
Right.
And that's what bothered me. It's like, you were always going to settle for a field goal.
No trust.
Why not try to get 7? Why not try to get 7?
That speaks to me like you don't really trust that you can get 7.
Right. Yeah, you had
he don't trust his quarterback to throw far. And you don't trust quarterback to throw down the field.
Far. If you called a timeout, they were at midfield, bro. You don't have to sling it 40 yards for a touchdown. They were at midfield with 2 timeouts. There was no need to sling the rock down. You had time.
Right.
If you're aggressive enough, you could have made it. You could have made it work. In his brain, based off of what he said in the press conference, he was like, we could have got a little bit closer. Bro, what? Score to 7. Score to 7, bro. Like, that's the I hate, bro. I hate these, and this is why I wanted. This is when I envisioned getting an offensive mind. This is the complete opposite of what I thought, because an offensive mind is going to be aggressive. When I thought about this is what I expected from Wilkes, and this is why I didn't want Wilkes. But it appears that I'm getting Wilkes' thought process, or what I thought would be Wilkes' thought process, anyway. You know what I mean? So I want an aggressive coach that's gonna do what he gotta do. And you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some, but you gotta take that. You gotta take the good with the bad. But I'd rather see you be aggressive, bro.
Right.
You gotta be aggressive, man. So that's Frank Reich. He's stocked down, and I hope he turns it around, man. Listen, there's nothing more I would like to eat crow if he turns this thing around, bro. If he could turn it around, I'd be the first person to be like, I mean, we were wrong. We should have been more patient. I would love to say that.
Shot.
But the way things are going, I just don't. I don't, bro. I have little faith.
Shot. I know some people probably didn't watch us when we went live on Sunday, so I'm going to ask you the question again.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
A lot of people did, and we appreciate that. And if you guys are in here now, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. But I'm going to ask the question again. What record gets him out of here in 1 year?
I don't think that's a
bruh.
I don't think there's a scenario where he's gonna get out of here in 1 year.
If he goes 0-17, you're telling me they're gonna keep him?
I don't think he's gonna go 0-17. You don't think he's gonna go 0-17? Do you think he's gonna go 0-17?
You want to look at the schedule?
Do you think he's gonna go? I don't gotta look. Answer the question. You think he's gonna
go
0-17? All right. So what are we talking about then? What are we talking about then?
All right, I'll name a record that could be very plausible. He could go 2-15. You keep him at 2-15?
No, I don't think it's gonna be. What are you asking? My opinion, or what do you think? The
Panthers
are gonna do? My opinion.
Both. Your opinion. He should be gone.
My opinion is if he goes that low, then I'm firing him and I'm promoting Evero. That's what I'm doing. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that the Panthers are gonna hold on, and they're gonna keep building and rebuilding until. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
Do you think we can beat the Bucks?
Yeah, all division games are winnable.
Well, we got 4 left. Do you think we can beat Chicago?
Yes, Dave. You think we can beat Chicago?
I do think we can,
bro. Come on, what are you doing, man? What are we really doing? We've been in every day. You acting like we have been blown out we've been in every single game, bro.
Very true.
Stop, yo.
I know we've been in every.
That's what I don't like. See, that's what I don't like right there. See,
why you out here? Wait, look, man.
Because you getting these what? Get them out of here.
It's listen, bruh. It's a legitimate discussion point.
It's not.
Like It is. It is.
On,
let me tell you why it is. I'm gonna explain to you why it is. When we hired this coach, the first thing I said was we should win this division. Y'all thought I was crazy. No, wait, let me finish. Y'all thought I was crazy. No. You sip. That's more than enough. That's more than something.
I'm trying to put my cup down. I didn't say that.
Yeah. All right. Listen. You put your cup down. All right. You said folks thought I was crazy when I said that. Thought it was asinine for me to think that being 1 game out of winning the division a year prior.
Can you stop talking about that same point every week?
No. Let me finish. So if we come out here if we come out here and we sit here and we go 4-13, 3-14, 2-15, dog, that's unsat. That is unsat. I don't care if we got a rookie. That is unsat. You think Tepper out here paying for that? You think he expects us to be worse than what we were last year? Or do you just don't think he cares? Which one is it?
I think he cares, but I don't think he's gonna get rid of him. I think he's gonna trust his. I think he's gonna trust his own process. Because hell,
you mean the process where he's impatient and tired of losing? That process?
If he gave Matt Rule,
yeah, exactly. Bingo, exactly.
He's going to give Frank Reich more than 1 year, bro.
He is.
I think he should.
He has a rookie quarterback. If you give Matt Rule, how many 3 years? You're gonna give Frank more than 1. I'm sorry.
All right, we're gonna see. I don't want to pull up the schedule because I really don't want to go down my line with this because I'm getting very concerned because we had Matt Rule that
game, bro. We've been in every single game.
I think Frank will either relieve. I want Frank Reich to be a head coach, not the head coach and the play caller. Like if he gives it to Thomas Brown, he could still have his hands on it. He could still help out and operate different things, but I want him to focus in on the game management piece and let Thomas Brown cook. That's what I would want. And if he does that, then kudos, stock up next time for Frank for me.
I'm looking at the schedule.
You say you weren't.
You already on it. I'm looking now. I was told that we weren't going to win any more games going into the bye. So we got winnable games left are probably the Bears. Oh God. The Packers, maybe? That might be the list.
You don't think we can beat the Colts?
And the Texans?
No.
And the Texans?
No. Definitely not the Texans. Not with what I saw last week.
You don't think we can beat the Falcons? You don't think we can beat the Saints or the Bucks?
Right.
You don't think we can win another division game? What are we doing, bro? Come on, man.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Okay.
You don't think Bryce is gonna improve enough for us to win a couple of these games?
Right. It ain't about Bryce. That's the thing you guys don't realize. It ain't about Bryce.
It's all about Bryce. Everything is about Bryce.
It's about that guy. It's about that guy with the red arrows that I'm looking at right now. It's about that guy right there and his decision making. If he don't give that play calling up,
hey yo,
and his job is to get Bryce better.
Here's my thing too.
About Bryce.
Shy, you said a good point first, because at first I was Dave earlier today, right? Like it's about Frank Reich, but you brought up a good point around like we don't know who's making up the plays, we don't know the check downs, we don't know all the kills that Bryce did. Like we don't have all that extensive knowledge on like what's happening between the lines. So all the blame, of course, like with anything, is going to go towards the coach and the quarterback, but we don't have the full story. And I get that, but at the same time, I'm every time you throw a screen, I'm we saw the play when Bryce got upset. So in my head,
he was upset because he checked out the play. He had a play, he checked out that play, and the Vikings defense was ready for it. They were showing blitz, they backed out of the blitz, and Bryce got caught slipping. Who now? You gonna blame Frank Reich for that, Dave? That's Frank Reich's fault, huh?
You know what? Let's move on.
Saying? Look,
no. Let's move on. And the reason why I'm saying let's move on is that I know how this script's gonna go. Because let me tell you something, man. I'm looking at this schedule, and if we get to Chicago on Thursday Night Football, and we mess around and go in the damn Soldier Field and catch that fade, and we still ain't got no win, what?
Dave,
we better not lose. Chicago's terrible though. If we lose Chicago, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. I'm not a bet man, but I bet you we're not losing Chicago, bro.
We better not lose to Chicago. We better not lose to Blood and Guts DJ Moore. We better not. After the cuss out they gave Rashad, we better not lose to DJ Moore. Better not.
Oh yeah, we want all the DJ smoke too. I hope. I don't know. I don't think JC gonna be back by then.
He gotta be back by then, bro.
It'd be fun to watch.
He'll be back.
It'd be fun to watch.
He gotta be back by Thursday night, man. He has to. He has to.
Back, bro.
It'd be fun to watch.
And Xavier Woods.
Oh man. Oh God.
All right. So yeah, we are frustrated. We want W's at the end of the day, man.
God, man.
We tired of being fans of losers.
Hey.
And it sucks. It sucks. So real quick, let me hit these super chats and then I'll get it going. All right. Clint O says, Dave Cap, when we getting Pod Shop merch? I don't know.
Listen, y'all should just get Dave Cap merch, and y'all should wear the shirts each time when I'm right. Y'all should wear the Dave Cap shirts each time that I'm right. All right, we had Shad here being on Confessions on Sunday. So y'all can just go ahead and get the Dave. You can get the Dave. Y'all can get the Dave Cap shirt. I know you are. I can tell you are.
We need a Pod Shot shirt and then I told y'all shirt, bro. I told y'all.
Yeah, facts. Anthony says it's the damn NFL. All games are winnable. Period.
That's facts.
Well, it's true.
You're not lying.
That's facts. Any given Sunday.
Yeah, any given Sunday. But yeah, we the truth is though, we've been in every single game. Our defense has been playing well. They've been holding us down. Once that defense starts to break, then I'd be concerned. But the defense is always going to put us in position to at least be competitive. And I think that's what we have to lean on. And then let's just hope that the offense can meet us halfway. Once that starts happening, you're going to start to see this team improve. And I'm hoping we can still get to that 8 and 9 range. I'm hoping we can get there, but we'll see. We'll see, man. I hope that's all we have is a hope and a prayer, because we can't do nothing about it. All we're gonna do is cheer and complain. That's all we can do. That's all we can do, bro. But all right, so here we go. We've got the Lions coming up. It should be week 5. My bad.
That's all right.
Yeah,
well,
my bad.
I will say one thing about
5.
this. This Thursday, 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, I'm gonna be on Roar the Lions. We're gonna talk about this game. I'm gonna be with my brothers from the UK and talk about this game. I'm gonna try to have as much confidence as I can because we're gonna win one within the next 2 weeks. It's got to be this one.
Dave about to go up on that pod and just be like, "Yo, we trash, we suck."
Nah, it won't be that bad, but
and fire.
I won't. No, actually, I'm not fire Frank right now. I think we should have some level of patience.
I can't tell.
No, I think we should have some level of patience. I think it would be foolish to fire Frank after 1 year. We gotta quit.
I can't tell.
You say giving him some grace? You giving that G word?
I think look, man, here's my thing. I need this franchise to have some level of patience. But the problem is that the bad decisions are they're cumulative. They're like cumulative bad decisions. But at some point, we got to have some patience. Like, we just got to have some. But we don't have any. So, no, I don't want him going after a year. But I just know I'm thinking from the perspective of how this leadership has reacted in the past. And if the record's bad, I could see it. I don't think it should happen, but I could see it. That's why I asked the question. I just could see it because the leadership has shown me that they ain't got the patience for this. I could see a scenario that if this thing gets ugly, Tepper says, F your couch and get rid of everybody. I could see it.
And if he does that, that's the right thing to do is to clean. We talked about that earlier. If you're going to clean
house, you clean house.
Clean it all the way out. Like, there's no holdovers. I would probably try to keep Evero if I can. That'd be the only holdover. But GM, coach, everybody needs to go, bro. Everybody. And
the fascinating thing that Detroit did when they did the clean house, they hired the coach and the GM. The owner hired the coach and the GM separately. Like, GM didn't get to hire the coach. They hired them together as a unit. And they said, y'all gonna have to make this work. And so far, so good. But we'll see.
Jay got the juice says, Dave, we've been patient for years.
I didn't say we weren't patient. I'm talking about the ownership. So you ain't listening. You ain't hearing what I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm talking about the ownership. The ownership has not shown any level of patience. We on our fourth quarterback in 4 years. He hasn't shown no patience. That's what I'm talking about. None. Hasn't shown any. None. The guy y'all want to go can't go because, I don't think he's
he owns the team. So. Exactly. Yeah. So I've seen too much of that too. People complaining about, bro, what if, how can we get, bro, you're not getting rid of Tepper, bro. Stop it.
It's not happening.
The owner, bro. It's not happening.
Not happening.
But anyway, again, Thursday, check that out. I don't know if we're going to simulcast it or whatever, but Thursday, check out the Roar of the Lions UK joint. We're going to preview that. And we will be, I will be, I'm not sure if Dave is going to be able to do it, but I will be live streaming during this game. Since this is a away game, I'll be live streaming. It should be fun. Make sure y'all tune in and get the live raw reactions. Grab a drink, chill out. But all right. I think
if I do it, I'll be at the airport. We'll see, though.
Yep.
We'll see.
All right. Anything else we need to talk about? Any other topics that I missed?
Man. What is this, McDowell's? What is this?
Hey.
What is this?
What Frank said, keep the faith.
Yeah, that's all we got.
Bro, he ain't Michael Jackson either. And this ain't dangerous. Like we can't look, man. I think I've used up my faith for the season already.
Shout out to Mike, man. That's my guy, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. I had to go on a rant about Mike earlier today. No cats out here not understanding what levels are. But But yeah, nah, man, keep the faith. Man, please.
Hey, that's all we could do. We ain't got no choice. Either you gonna be a fan or you not. If you can go.
Now you gonna start doing Kendrick? When shit hits the fan, are you still a fan?
I won't judge you. I won't judge you.
You about to go Mortal Man up in here?
If you say keep the faith, man, it's no more keep pounding. It's keep praying, man. Keep praying.
Facts.
That's all you can do.
Or keep drinking.
Pouring.
One or the other.
Keep pouring is more accurate. Keep pouring.
Hey,
keep pouring, bro.
It is. Whatever floats your boat.
Facts. All right. So with that said, man, hey Carlo, appreciate you jumping in with us, man.
Anytime.
And yeah, man. One more super chat real quick. Oh, did I see this one? Marcus Hall says we don't have an O-line. Yeah, we got to get healthy. Hopefully we get Corbett back. He's hopefully gonna start practicing this week. That's a positive, right? That's a prayer answered, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
This is what we've come down to. We're praying for players to come back.
Praying,
you out here,
pouring,
you want to
talk
about keeping the faith, man. You ain't got no faith that JC gonna be ready for Chicago, bro. He's got to be ready for Chicago.
I don't have any faith in anything regarding JC, to be honest with you. If you want to keep it a buck. And that's another thing that's kind of frustrating about this whole situation with the cornerbacks. And that's why I have some smoke for Scott and Frank. Like everybody in the world could see that these two guys needed some insurance. Like we need some insurance with these two dudes. And all we heard from Frank,
we had insurance.
All we heard from Frank Reich was, "Yo, I'm confident in these guys. Like I'm confident in the depth. We're gonna be fine." And all we've done is rotate backup cornerbacks. Was Troy Hill? We brought in all these guys. So obviously you were not confident. And it is frustrating. It is frustrating for them not to prepare for it, because we knew this was gonna happen. And we had what was the over under these dudes is gonna play all 16 or 17 games. Come on, man. We knew this. We knew this was gonna happen. Both of them. We knew this was gonna happen. So
we ain't got a game with both of them in it.
No.
Can you think? Oh God.
Yo,
cannot.
Hey yo.
That's funny. Hey T-Sweet. That might be it, bro. That might be it right there, fam.
I guess if we want to rebrand, we damn sure could. Have an alternate P&P show. Panthers need prayer.
That's it right there, bro.
And have to call out for a prayer service.
That's funny.
We're taking prayer.
I swear to God, man.
That's funny, bro. That's funny. Panthers need prayer is funny, bro. Alvin says thanks for the therapy session, y'all, man. Yeah, man. We in this together, bro. Either you gonna be in it or you gonna go get another team. So that's your choices. We here for the long haul, man. We're gonna keep pouring and keep pounding, bro. That is what it is. Panthers need prayer, man. Let's get it.
Panthers need prayer.
That's hilarious, yo.
Oh God. This is why I love y'all. I love the chat cast, man. Y'all be on it. Y'all be.
That's funny, bro. That's funny.
Oh.
All right. So with that said, man, we're gonna get up out of here. Like, subscribe, notification bell, all that stuff. See y'all on Thursday, and then we'll see y'all again on Sunday. And might be another rant session. I might have to put on the hater blockers again. If that happens, you already know what's something about to go down. It's time to pile when the hater blockers come on. But yeah, man, we all frustrated. We in this together, man. Keep pounding. We'll see y'all next week. We out of here. Peace.